Ever feel like a decision was already made before the meeting even started? Today, we're looking at why naming alternatives isn't the same as actually testing them.
It's a form of cognitive theater. We can be technically open because we have options on the table, but functionally closed because we've already decided on the winner.
The essay by Henry Pozzetta calls this the difference between depth and shallow engagement. Shallow engagement is just listing possibilities like furniture in a room.
Right. Whereas deep analysis asks what would have to be true for an option to work. Under heavy cognitive load, we lose the mental energy to actually interrogate those ideas.
I've seen this in startups. A team might list three paths, but if they've already fallen in love with a pivot, the other options are just there for show.
Exactly. They'll look at bad data and call it a lagging indicator rather than proof they're wrong. They're absorbing contrary evidence in a way that protects their preferred conclusion.
That brings up permeability. In an impermeable process, information enters the system, but it doesn't change the output. The manager just reinterprets red flags as growth opportunities.
It's fascinating because we often blame time pressure for this, but the real culprit is load. Fatigue and competing demands make us drop the expensive mental work first.
So giving someone more time doesn't help if they're still overloaded. They just use that extra week to rationalize the choice they already made.
Precisely. The solution is usually taking something off their plate, not just adding days to the calendar. You need to reduce the load to regain actual judgment.
Pozzetta suggests a great tool for this called the reversal test. You ask yourself what specific piece of evidence would make you reopen the decision.
If you can't name anything, or you name something impossible like the sky turning green, you've foreclosed. You're not actually choosing, you're just validating a gut feeling.
It works for personal stuff too, like picking a school. If you can't name one factor that would make you switch to your second choice, the process is rigged.
And this theater creates a false sense of security in organizations. They think they have robust processes, but the CEO's preference acts like a gravity well for data.
The most insidious part is when teams start filtering data before it even reaches the leader because they already know which way the wind is blowing.
To break that, you have to actively try to falsify your own preferences. You have to ask what the strongest case is for the alternative you like the least.
It's moving from why this works to why this might fail. Define the failure metric before you commit so you don't move the goalposts later.
It requires being honest about your mental state. If you've had 10 interviews in a row, you're not being open. You're just looking for a reason to be done.
True openness is uncomfortable. It means the outcome isn't guaranteed, and you might actually have to change your mind, which our brains hate doing.
We have to stop using the presence of alternatives as a shield. The alternatives are always there, but the openness is something we have to fight for.
Recognizing that gap can save you from a disastrous hire or a failed product. Thanks for joining me to break down this decision-making trap.
It was a pleasure. Hopefully, next time we're in a meeting, we'll look for the depth instead of just counting the options.